We're back at Soleil House and we're done. We made it in time for Modernism Week. One of the parties we had during Modernism Week was a fundraiser for the Palm Springs Modern Committee, and we had about 120 people, and it was really interesting to see how people flowed through the house. A lot of people were out here on the deck, there were people by the pool, people in the conversation pit. So a lot of people have been through the house and hopefully enjoyed the house, and I'm looking forward to show you the whole thing now that we're done. We are here on the driveway, and I wanted to show you the exterior of the house before we go inside. Some of the changes that we made were adding the tongue and groove white oak on the underside of the exterior roof overhangs. And I think that was a really nice upgrade for the house. It warmed it up, and it's one of the first things you see when you approach the house. We cleaned up the landscaping right here in the front, so I think that once it fills in, it'll seamlessly blend in with the mountain. And the last thing I wanted to point out are the exterior light sconces. They are a reproduction of one original light fixture I found that was still on the house. And I found a company in Texas called J. Knox Designs, and they recreated the original light fixtures. We are here in the carport, and the most important feature here are these breeze block partition walls. This is the Trina Turk breeze block that I designed with to sell, and Shields Residential figured out how to create a metal frame so that it just sort of looks like they're standing here. And I just think it creates a nice screen for your car when you're parked in the driveway. So there's an extra room in the basement. You might remember this room that has the rock in it, where they built the foundation of the house around this rock. This space, I could imagine it as an art studio, maybe an exercise room, like a little mini gym, or maybe it's just storage. Let's check out the new deck. What I really like about the deck is I think it provides a lot of indoor-outdoor living space for the house. I just furnished it with some vintage patio furniture and added a couple hanging chairs at the end. Also, when you're up on the deck, you can really see the slats that we added, which were designed to break up the expanse of this roof overhang. We are here in the TV area, which we're calling the snug. It used to be a bedroom. This was the closet behind me. And there was a wall right across here, which we decided to eliminate because it was blocking the view. So eliminating that wall allowed us to open up the whole expanse of the view and created this kind of cozy little area for the TV. I furnished it with mostly vintage pieces. So I think it's a really cozy space, and I like how all the textures are working together. So here's the finished conversation pit. This conversation pit was inspired by an Alexander Gerard designed conversation pit at the Miller House in Columbus, Indiana. What I really love about it was that there was an array of pillows that were made out of all kinds of different textiles. And so I thought it was really interesting to sort of do the Palm Springs version of that. So the pillows here are a mixture of Trina Turk pillows, vintage pillows I had made out of vintage fabric that I found, and then some new ones as well. This is our new iteration of the fireplace. When I bought the house, there was a baby grand piano sitting right here, and this whole area was covered with wood. Perhaps they didn't like the concrete block wall and were trying to cover it up, but I actually like the texture of the concrete block wall. It took us a long time to figure out what to do with this fireplace because it's sort of an unusual shape. But I think that in the end, it kind of looks like it could have been here this way originally, although this is not how it looked originally at all. If you've seen some of our previous videos, you might remember that this window behind me was boarded up with plywood. So now that we've replaced that window, I think it looks really great. We planted a couple yuccas back there just to contrast the texture of the rocks. We furnished the dining room with a Saarinen table and some USM Holler pieces from Design Within Reach. We are in the newly expanded kitchen now. It was originally sort of a square-shaped galley kitchen, but the main thing that we did in here was there was a bathroom right along here that was en suite to a bedroom behind this wall. So we eliminated that bathroom in order to expand the kitchen and add this window. We did white oak cabinetry, a custom range hood. We have monogram appliances. Our countertops are from Arizona tile, and the faucet is from Brizo. In the guest bedroom, we decided to take advantage of the fact that this used to be a closet, and we created this whole built-in and utilized the space from the closet by sort of pushing the head of the bed into what used to be the closet. So we kind of reconfigured things in here to create this intimate space for a guest bedroom. In the second guest room, I decided to style it like it's a dressing room. So we left the closet doors off for now and filled the entire closet with a combination of Trina Turk caftans and vintage. The other view of the dressing room shows off the Schumacher wallpaper. What I loved about this pattern is that it also came in fabric, so that I could do the walls and the fabric all in the same pattern to create this sort of layered effect. We are in the Cabana room, and this room was called the family room on the original plans. But it's kind of small, so I just decided to do it like a bar that was kind of connected to the pool area. This room was completely furnished with vintage stuff, with the exception of the wallpaper, which is from Schumacher, and the light fixtures, which are from Visual Comfort. We added a powder room to the house. This space used to be a closet. The wallpaper is a Paul Poiret design, and I'm really kind of focused on the brass tones and a little bit of turquoise in this room. In the primary bedroom, this area used to be a closet, and we decided to change it to this California closets built-in because it's slightly narrower than a closet, and it gave a more expansive entrance into the bedroom itself. In the primary bedroom, I wanted to introduce this teal color. The bed and the nightstands are from Design Within Reach. And the rest of the furnishings are 100% vintage, including the pendant lamps, the painting, ottoman, rug, everything in here. I love how the Philip Jeffries wallpaper creates this nice texture as a backdrop for the art. We're in the primary bathroom. This was actually sort of a generously sized bathroom to start with. These are Mastercraft vintage mirrors that I got from Modern Way in Palm Springs. A Visual Comfort light fixture again, and we did this little built-in that's underlit and used this sort of soft blue fire clay tile. There was only one window in this bathroom, so what we decided to do was add some glass blocks inside the shower to let a little bit more light in. This sunburst pattern we used on the patio furniture is from Schumacher, and it's a custom colorway from the Trina Turk indoor-outdoor collection for Schumacher. It's kind of became the signature pattern for Soleil House. We used it on a lot of the promotional materials, and here it is, used as upholstery. Santa Barbara Umbrellas made these umbrellas, and the underside is lined with the same fabric that we used on the chaise lounges and the chairs over here. So love the pattern, love the way it turned out. Behind me, you can see what I think is the best vista of the whole house. And this view is what appealed to me when I first saw the house in its original state. Even though it was in bad shape, you could see the bones of the house. You could see this incredible view of the mountains. And I thought that was what was appealing and made it worth saving to me. The pool deck's completely redone. We installed new water jets behind me, kept the original shape of the pool, and kind of increased the size of the pool deck a little bit. So I think it all looks pretty good.